Hey everybody, sorry this video is going up a little late, but I wanted to put a little bit of thought and effort. I know there's a glare on my glasses. I wanted to put a little bit of a thought and some effort into this week's topic since I decided to stick with it and not go off on my own and do something else this week. Um, there's a lot going on in the gay community right now. We really haven't had much of a focus or direction, I feel, since we got what we were fighting for 45 years. We've gone from no recognition to punchlines by comedians to funny characters on TV to not being mentioned when we die to being mentioned when we die to being mentioned why we die to not being able to be seen as a couple on television to being able to be seen as a couple on television to kissing on television to having main characters on television to having main characters in movies. We've achieved equality with our government to a degree. And now, where does that leave us? Well, apparently, it leaves us doing a lot of introspective analysis, or rather, going through a lot of introspective analysis. Um, when I came out of the closet, I could go to a bar or Pride or any large gathering and look around and know that everyone in that room or everyone at that event or everyone at Pride went through exactly what I went through and worse in some degrees. When I was 21, someone 20 or 30 years older than me had to hide when they went to a bar or duck the police or hope that they weren't going to get arrested or raided. And I can comfortably perform and come and go as I please and quite honestly count on the police to protect those establishments these days. I think that we need to remember that when we are at those events, despite what the rest of the world tells us and despite how they expect us to think, when you look to the right and you look to the left, you really are around the only other people who know what it is that you're going through. And we have to get back to a point where that represents everyone again. And I don't know if showing up to, protest or demonstrate. I understand when my friends tell me that that is a last resort and that they feel that that is what they have to do, but I don't know if it's effective when it's against ourselves, when it's being done in an event or at a venue where the purpose is already to demonstrate to the outside world how large of a number we really are. I don't know if we need to also then present a splintering or fraying or the fact that there is disconnect. I mean, if we're a community comprised of people who don't feel comfortable within our community, how strong are we going to be when the enemy comes for us all? And they're thinking of ways to do it. They really are. They're not happy. And by that I mean the people who want to see the entire community do harm or be harmed. And that's for another time, I guess. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, I don't want to point fingers at Republicans or extreme Christian fundamentalists or people who feel that my liberty affects their right to pray to Jesus. Um, and anyway, since I kind of stepped into that, I know who is and isn't going to sell me a cake. I'm not going to go to somebody who I have a feeling isn't going to be too happy. I'm going to go to a gay baker or a friend of mine that I know that makes fierce cakes. And that's what we're all going to do. So you heterosexual people can just chill on that. We're not going to come banging down your doors for business. You've deprived it from us for so long. We're more than happy to give it to each other. And on that note, remember that the best way to affect the picture as a whole is to make sure that your part of it is kept as tidy as possible. And by that, I mean take heed to affect the everyday life around you. If you have friends of color, walk away from your friends that tell off-color jokes. Don't put yourself in situations in which you have to defend a racist friend because that's just them. There's more at stake now than just a friendship. We're a community that needs to start supporting each other again. And the best way to do that is in your everyday lives. So affect the world around you in a positive way. And that's my message for Thursday. And next week, open stage, I promise. All right, be good to each other.